Hello, and welcome to this video tutorial on chart basics and the interface of Microsoft Excel for the Mac. We're going to show you how to take data from a standardized measure, enter it into a spreadsheet, and create your chart. Once you have your chart, we'll show you how to format it to display your data in a meaningful way. Let's get started with an understanding of chart basics. Charts are simply a graphical representation of your data, and they make complex information more easily communicated to your intended audience. Here's an example of a typical bar chart with parts of the charts labeled. In order to represent data on a chart, information is usually plotted on a grid using a horizontal axis and a vertical axis. Using these two axes, data is plotted in the plot area here in the middle. A legend is used to define and distinguish the data being plotted, so it shows you the categories here. Chart area refers to the entire chart. These components exist on most charts, but not all. For example, a pie chart does not have horizontal or vertical axis. Now that we've covered the basic parts of the chart, let's get a high-level overview of an Excel spreadsheet and learn more about its interface. Here is an active worksheet. Columns run vertically on a worksheet, and each one is identified by a letter in the column header, like A, B, C. Rows run horizontally and are identified by a number in the row heading. Together, a column letter and a row number create a cell reference. Each cell in the worksheet can be identified by this combination of letters and numbers, such as A1, F456, or AA34. When you click on a cell in Excel, the active cell is highlighted. You enter data into the active cell. To move to another cell and make it active, click on it with a mouse or use the arrow keys on the keyboard. The formula bar is located above the worksheet. This area displays the contents of the active cell. The formula bar can also be used for entering or editing data in the formulas. Located next to the formula bar, the name box displays the cell reference or the name of the currently active cell, in this case, A6. The Sheet tab at the bottom of the worksheet tells you the name of the current worksheet, such as Sheet 1, which we're currently on. You can add new sheets by clicking on the plus sign here to the right. Switch between worksheets by clicking on the tab of the sheet you want to access, and we'll show you that shortly. Ribbon tabs are part of the horizontal menu that contains links to various features of the program. Each tab, such as Home, Insert, Page Layout, and Formulas, contain a number of related features and options that are activated by clicking on the appropriate icon. In this case, we're on Home. The status bar, which runs horizontally along the bottom of the screen, can be customized to display a number of options, most of which give the user information about the current worksheet, data the worksheet contains, and the user's keyboard. Information includes whether the caps lock, scroll lock, or num lock keys are turned on and off, and that can be quite important. The status bar also contains the zoom slider here on the lower right-hand side, which allows users to alter the magnification of a worksheet, and that can come in very handy. Now that you've received some background information on charts and the features found in Excel, let's get started. Now let's get started with entering your data and creating a chart. The first chart we'll create is for the Beck Depression inventory, which includes baseline and intervention data. This is what the chart will look like when it's finished, and it also gives you an example of the data that you'll be typing in, so you can use that as a guideline. So let's go ahead and open up Microsoft Excel. We'll select a blank worksheet from our options. And what you'll do is you'll start entering the data just as you see on your handout, starting with the baseline in cell A1. To create the chart, let's highlight all of the data. Including headers and making sure no empty cells are selected by clicking and dragging from cell A1 to cell B9. You'll notice that the selected data will look grayed out. Now we'll go to the Insert tab to add our chart and click on the line chart icons here towards the middle. There's a little drop-down menu, and if you hover over each item, it will give you a little descriptor telling you what kind of chart it is. So we want the one that says line with markers. And it will go ahead and insert the chart. So now you see we've got our rough chart here, but let's go ahead and add some other items that are missing, including the chart title. So what we're going to do is go up here in the upper left-hand corner to add chart elements and click on them and click on the little downward facing arrow to see your options. We'll go to chart title, and what we'll do is we'll place it above the chart. And then what you can do is you can either highlight it and type it in, or you can type in the formula bar. So we'll type back depression inventory. Now what we're going to do is we're going to add the axis titles. As you can see, they're missing right now. So we'll go back to add chart elements. And we'll select axis title. Let's put the primary horizontal one in. And I'm just going to go into the formula bar over here. And we'll type in, and then we'll type in the title. So we'll do number of sessions for the horizontal axis. Hit enter, and you'll see that it appears. Let's go back to add chart elements here, and we'll go ahead and add the primary vertical title, and I'll take the default here. Again, in this situation, it's better to just type it in the formula bar, and we'll do BDI score here. Hit enter, and there we go. Now we already have, we have the legend, but if you look at the handout, it's on the left, it's on the right-hand side. So we're going to go ahead and change that. So we'll go back to add chart elements, go down to legend, and we're going to move it over to the right. All right. And since we want, and now what we'll do is we're going to add a border around the legend by going back up here to legend under chart, add chart elements. And we'll go under more legend options. And we'll go move over to the icon with the paint can. Click on border to see all the options, and we'll select solid line. You can also select your color here, but I like the blue, so I'm going to leave it. And when I click off of it, you can see that it's there. All right, the next step we're going to do is distinguish the baseline in the intervention data by labeling them A and B and drawing a line between them to separate them. So first I'm going to close out of this. I'm going to click on the chart area to select it. And we'll make the chart design and format tabs visible at the top of the screen. We'll go ahead and click on the format tab and select a straight line with no arrow from the various shapes. So over here on the left-hand side. One right here in the middle. You'll see as I move, you'll see that my cursor has changed a little bit. And now I'll position it. It will change into a plus sign. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit and click and hold. And I'm also going to hit the shift key at the same time to ensure a straight line. And once I have it where I want it, I'm going to let go. Now what I can do is I can change, it's a little bit light here, so I'm gonna change the style here. So up here, so I'm gonna click this downward facing menu in the line options and select a bold black line so it really stands out. All right, we're almost done, but not quite. So one of the last things we need to do are add the A and B text boxes. So, so we're going to label the two groups of data. So to add a text box, we'll go over to make sure the chart's selected. We'll go over to the text box up here under shape format. And I'm going to click and drag, make it nice and big, let go, and immediately type my letter A. I can always change it once I have whatever I want typed in here. I'll make it a little bit, I'll bold it, and I'll make it a little bit bigger so you can really see it. All right, and then I can position it. Also, you can click these sizing handles to move it around. Sometimes you click the wrong element. So we'll go ahead and grab that. Click and drag and move. All right, nice. All right, we're gonna repeat the same thing. We'll go back under format and we'll insert our second text box right above the orange line here. And we'll type the letter B, double click on it to highlight it. I think I changed it to 14 in my previous example, and I'll make it bold. And I'll move it, probably move it a little bit. Sometimes you select other things inadvertently. If that happens, just let go. And if you do something egregious, always hit the undo button here at the top of the screen, or you can always do Control Z as in zebra. All right. And now it looks like everything looks as it should be. Maybe I'll move this B a little bit over. It's maybe a little OCD, but why not? All right, great. Now you've learned how to make a line chart with two sets of data and to make it look snazzy. Congratulations.